What up, what up, what up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A Drink of the Game. This is actually episode 50. We should do something special for you guys, but we're not. You're just getting us. But episode 50
Please
of
don't.
fucking Gamerish Network podcast. I said A Drink of the Game, but I'm so used to that shit. I'm sorry, I've been drinking, and then here I am. You guys see I'm in my work clothes and shit and suit and tie. Dre has a new job. He's back to work, blah, blah, blah. But I'm your host this week here with the esteemed panel of Miss Felice Cat, Queen of Gamerish,
Hi.
and Mr. Mad King Solo.
Yo, what
No,
up,
it's
guys?
Mad
Thanks
King.
for
It's just Mad King. Or
watching
Solo.
Oh,
slash
yeah,
joining.
no more
Don't get him in
solo. Mad
trouble.
King no longer solo, as I usually say. But like I said, I'm a bit tipsy, so excuse my speech. This week, we're here once again to deliver to you guys the ish that you all should know, that we know, and all the fucking video game news that we're gonna talk about this week and shit that we feel like you should be discussing right now. And of course, most of these shits we drop in the Gamers Facebook page. So if you're not a part of that, you should fucking follow that shit. We're always in there and discussing all the latest game news. But other than that,
Game
if you
news,
don't,
movies,
yeah,
anime,
Life.
all that good shit, and
all
life.
that
Yes.
fucking good shit. So, oh yeah, Crazy Eights is here, and I want to shout out Crazy Eights for being with Felice last week when we had no pod and holding it down, man. Thanks for looking out while I was out watching Demon Slayer, which I was there typing to you guys in the car, trying to wipe all the tears off my fucking face. Like Demon Slayer is a very fucking emotional fucking movie. And like anybody that watched that movie could correlate and understand where I'm coming from.
What
Like,
level of emotion? Like,
It sounds
yo,
like
like a
give me
lot.
like
my
a
son
reference.
never watched the anime until after that movie. I looked at him when certain shit was happening. He was crying. Like my son was
That's a little
crying.
kid though.
And I knew when he was crying, I was definitely gonna be crying. And y'all know how I
Yeah.
am with anime because I don't give a fuck about real life. I give more of a fuck about anime than I care about real life issues. Like if
Yeah.
somebody in my family dies, I can hold that shit in. But if somebody in the anime
Oh.
dies, I'm crying for that
So what
character.
if your family
Spoiler,
was in
someone
anime
dies.
and then they died?
All right, then I'll cry for them. But real life, I'm emotionally detached to real world things. I tell you guys this shit all the time. I'm emotionally detached to the real world. I am more attached to anime and video games. Anime and video games can make me cry before anything in the real world could make me cry. Unless like I lose a child, God forbid, before I go. Then
That's scary.
I'll fucking cry and I'll be angry and I'll probably shoot up a lot of people. But
Wow,
Don't
you
say
just
things
giving the
like that.
FBI a lot of stuff right here.
I know, but that's just Dre when he's drunk. But other than that, yeah, we're here to talk games and gaming news. But we had today the PlayStation had a state of play, which to me wasn't really a state of play. It was more of the same bullshit PlayStation pulls here and there. Um,
Yes.
So I'll go ahead with my opinion first
Alright.
because I was watching this shit. I tried watching it, trying to get other people's opinions in three different areas. I watched the Easy Allies thing, I watched it on IGN, and I watched PlayStation straight up do this stream. And all I saw was Among Us. You guys said that they showed off Subnautica. I didn't get to see that part. But all I saw was like Among Us coming to PS4 and PS5. Whoop de doo. You guys should have been had this shit since it was out on the Wii. Like, since when does the Wii get shit like this before PlayStation and
It's the
Xbox?
next one. It's
You
not
know?
the. It's the sequel.
Okay, so I guess
Yeah.
Among Us 2. But
Wait, was it?
I don't know if it's called Among Us 2,
No,
but
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no,
so.
not that. I meant the other thing is the sequel. You said the Wii.
Subnautica.
You said
no, it's
Wii. I'm talking
Subnautica, yeah. Subnautica, yeah, that was the sequel. That was
That's
the
out
sequel.
already on Steam.
Yeah, yeah,
The new one's already out on Steam. You saying?
yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
That's
It's
the
early
Netflix
access.
5, right?
And then that shit didn't really excite me. And then it was just like a bunch of minutes of Ratchet and Clank. And all I could think of to
All the
myself
minutes.
is how many times, because we spoke about this a few podcasts ago about every time they have a state of play, they show us blah, 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 and then a bunch of Ratchet and Clank. Like, put the game out already. Like, stop fucking showing us the whole fucking game. Now we're going into the fucking Mortal
15 minutes of the
Kombat
game.
version of Ratchet and Clank, in which by the time we play Ratchet and Clank, we're gonna know the whole fucking game because you guys just keep showing us more and more of the goddamn game instead of if the game is really just finished, in which you guys every time you show it off to us got more and more to show us, put the goddamn game out. Why are we still watching gameplay videos? You know, like it's annoying to me. Like I'm tired of seeing, and I hate Ratchet and Clank. It's whack. I don't even think it's a good game. I don't care. It's a good franchise. Jack and Daxter is better. Like Ratchet and Clank could never hold my attention for more than an hour. I think Ratchet and Clank is whack, and I don't care about it. Like so, that's for the fucking Ratchet and Clank fans.
But
like,
it was yeah. I was gonna say, like, I think you're right. Like, the more they show this game, the less interested I am in this game. It's just like in the beginning, it was like, okay, the different riffs, the different like that'd be fun to play with that kind of idea. But like, the more they show it, the more it just feels like a Ratchet and Clank game, and I don't really want to play another Ratchet and Clank game. So I not interested in it. It looks beautiful though, man. When they were like
beautiful, and that's
it looks like a tech demo.
Yeah, they're low. They're like it's like they're throwing all their chips on Ratchet and Clank for this year. It's like a lot of games are coming out this fucking year, and Ratchet and Clank is really the best you guys could throw at us because Ratchet and Clank, yes, it makes you guys money. But so does Sly Cooper and shit like that. And
anybody want to play Sly Cooper?
You know, but yeah, and Sly Cooper is whack to me too. I know a lot of people hate on me for saying that. Sly Cooper is whack to me. Ratchet and Clank is whack to me. Those stories never got to me. Never.
I feel like Sly Cooper had style at least.
It did.
Yeah, it's a style to it, but it was never entertaining enough for me to care enough to finish. And we got big games coming out right now. We got Returnal that's coming out tomorrow. We got fucking Pokemon Snap coming out tomorrow. And yes, it's not an action game, but us N64 people, we're waiting for our Pokemon Snap tomorrow. And so I'll definitely be on that. And it's just like but Ratchet and Clank is not something I'm clamoring for. I will not spend any money on it. And it's probably going to be a $60 game. It's probably not even going to be a $70 game like Returnal is. You think it's gonna be $70? I can't see Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, $70.
It's $70.
It's $70.
This is gonna. Yeah, this is the game that I'm not even gonna buy this game because I know for a fact if Sony does any kind of Xbox Pass thing, this is gonna be the first game that's free. Like this is a game that they're gonna launch whatever pass thing they have. It's a waste of money. Don't spend your $70 on this. It's gonna be a free to play game.
It's gonna be on PlayStation
in like 3 months.
Plus in like I say 4 to 5 months.
Just don't spend your money on this, guys.
It's going to be a PlayStation Plus free to play. Like, look how many times they released Ratchet and Clank already. Like, they gave it to us free twice already. Like
any first party games don't buy anymore.
Yeah, but PlayStation they'll give it because they're trying to compete with Game Pass, and there's no way for them to completely compete with Game Pass unless they give out their first party games. So this is a first party game. It's not one worth buying on launch unless you're a huge PlayStation fan. And from what I've gathered in my mind, and from this whole talk about Days Gone finally making people play it after it's gone free and shit is most of you Sony people don't support Sony first party games anyway until they're in the fucking bargain bin. You know, so it's like you might as well wait for the game to be free because none of you are going to spend $70. Yes, you'll come online, you'll rave about, look, another Sony exclusive, but are you going to buy it? No, you're not. You're just saying Sony has another exclusive, but you're not going to play it for another year or two, right? So, it's just, yeah. Ratchet and Clank, I'll wait for the free-to-play bin on PlayStation Network. If Drake doesn't think it's worthy, I don't think you guys should think it's worthy. You know, like straight up. But you guys go ahead. If you guys have other opinions, like just throw it out there. I'm just being the ass, but not just the ass, but I'm being truthful. I'm not buying Ratchet and Clank for shit.
True, true. What do you think, Felice?
I think his criticism is like super fucking harsh. But I mean, it's to be expected. He doesn't like games like that anyway.
Yeah.
Um, I honestly think that I would play it. Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be red. I honestly
Why is it
think that
red?
I would play it. But I probably wouldn't pay for it. Honestly, I would probably wait for it to get lower. I am that Sony person that goes to the bargain bin, but I do, I do buy stuff straight out. Like I know it's like
Yeah, I
you
know
know,
you
I do.
would.
But like to what you guys said earlier, I do think you're right in reference to okay, guys, you're showing me way too much stuff because it was 15 minutes of gameplay because
Yeah.
the whole showcase I think was 22 minutes, and I jumped in. I was like, shit, I'm late. And I actually best in TV, best in one TV. I always say their name wrong. The one that Erica, she was on our podcast. Yeah, she well, her team was like streaming just the video. There was like no commentary or anything like that. And I don't know. I was just like, is that it?
Yep.
Is it done? And the Subnautica they show like maybe like I want to say like 2 minutes of it, and I was like I would probably play it that realistically because that's the type of person I am. It looks like a free game though. It doesn't look like a game that you pay
Yeah.
for.
Subnautica would definitely be free as well in
Yeah,
a
I
few.
like because I like I like games like that where like you go travel. It gives me those the vibes of the like that game that got remade that's finally not it didn't get remade. The game that's finally good that I keep referencing to you about
No Man's
the
Sky.
world. Yeah, thank you. You know me.
Hmm.
It feels like that, except more on like a spore aspect, how spore was supposed to be.
Spore was an epic fail.
It was. I really wanted so much out of that game. That game is
Me
still
too.
going though. I don't know if you know that, but
Yeah, I know it's still going, but
like the way the creatures look in Subnautica, I was like, oh, this is cute. And then like there's people there. It reminded me of like watching that movie, Atlantis, the cartoon movie, because like you're like fighting with these people who already live there, and the cartoon aspect of it looked like that movie to me anyway. But I would probably play it, but I don't know. Crazy. Let's just say, Ratchet and Clank game. Jackson. Oh yeah, Daxter. Jack and Daxter is better.
yep, I
Uh,
said that. Jack and Daxter
Biomutant
is way
game.
better.
Oh, the Biomutant game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, but only because of the other game Mutants that was free on Xbox. That now you have to pay for.
Biomutant, I've seen gameplay of, and I'm not sold yet. Like it looked good the first time I saw it, but I'm not sold on Biomutant yet. I feel like it's gonna be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm
I
not touching
respect
that
that.
game either.
That's like what is that like three? Was that like three nat points?
Mm,
Yes.
we'll see. We'll see when we get our
But
hands on it.
yeah, and then Among Us. Come on, you know how I feel about Among Us. I'm like that shit is like people gonna buy it, and it. I mean, I'm happy that they're getting their coins now. Don't get me wrong, because the game, like you said, when we first reviewed it, was old, and people just started popping on it because of the pandemic. But like, people are still playing it, and people are still buying it. Now that you have to pay for it, depending on
I
what
can't
system
even
you're on.
imagine. I mean, I think I did spend money on it, but I don't know, man. That game is just. There's a
You know what
place
it
and a time
is.
for it, but like I think
I
this
feel
is
like
the
we're getting
problem with
out
this
of. Yeah, we're getting out
gaming
of that.
industry is that like when like once we have something like that was a breakout. That was pretty dope idea Among Us. But like
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's evolve that idea. Let's like learn from that and keep
Well, they
get
did
going
on
forward.
Xbox. Like, if you go on Game Pass, there's like that game when I think I spoke about it a few
No,
pods
yeah, but like
ago.
the problem is like
See?
the gaming culture is not playing those games. So nobody's game like nobody knows about those games. Like there's a couple of games that have
I'm playing those games.
Well, maybe
Among
we
Us
should get on
vibes.
that game, and the three of us should go on there. And hey, maybe if one of us are the killer, then we just kill everybody around us, and it's
Wait,
like, ha ha ha,
no.
gamerish rules the land now.
I mean, realistically, we all got time. We ain't gonna play that game together. Let's be real. But
Hmm.
I do agree that yeah, we need to move on. And I have a rebuttal to that, but it's part of the gaming news. Um, but yeah, as for the PlayStation PlayStation state of play thing is trash. It's the conversation that we had before, where it's like we continue to have the same conversation about this is the new this is the new thing. The E3s are not happening. Well, not the future. We don't know quite yet, but the pattern is a couple of minutes of gameplay, a couple of minutes of whatever it is, and then they're done because there's no longer having to pay for production. There's no longer having to pay for the glitz and the glam. They don't have to do that anymore because now they're like, oh shit, I could just pay some people to show my shit online or show my shit on a TV station. It feels like they're putting less stuff into it, but at the same time, I have another opinion. Like, I think I know why, because they're being so cutthroat because of the games like the games like Cyberpunk that are getting like backlash because they're like the example for everybody else.
I
I mean,
don't agree to that. I
I
think
do
that
because of a story I have, but yeah, continue.
I just think that like I think a lot of this has to do with the pandemic. I think that like Cyberpunk came in a special time when like everybody was home and everybody was like, one, that game was overhyped as fuck,
Well,
and
yeah,
also on top of that the pandemic. So everybody was home wanting to play that game, and I think the focus, it was like a perfect storm of crap. But like games are still coming out broken. Like I don't think like anybody's learning their lessons. If anything, it's becoming more of a commonplace,
yeah,
in my
maybe.
opinion.
I mean, I we did kind of say that before, like that. I do share that opinion in reference to Cyberpunk came out during a specific time, and therefore everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because if
But
you
at
remember, The Witcher 3 came out broken as fuck too. Like they had
what?
to
That game wasn't
like
broken.
update it, huh?
That game wasn't broken.
It just had a few
No,
glitches, but
no,
it
they had
Not
like
wasn't
a
like
lot of
broken.
Cyberpunk level.
glitches. No, but
Cyberpunk
no, I'm
was
saying,
broken, but
yo, if you
Yeah,
go back and like
Witcher was
really look at
glitchy.
like The Witcher 3 and
you mean like
and
fall through the
see,
tree?
I
Because
think
that
it's just
happened.
like because it wasn't during the pandemic, everybody was just it was more accepted of it,
Yeah,
because
I
people were like
feel
And
that.
whatever,
now that
and
everybody was
now
home when
because everybody's
Cyberpunk came
home,
up,
and
yeah,
everybody's
it's
like
just like,
watching it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
It's
just
I
like
get that.
you hyped this game up for like 6, 7 years, and now
like
this is
Ratchet and
what we
Clank.
do. Yeah, like Ratchet and Clank. If Ratchet and Clank isn't a banger when it comes out, then PlayStation
It's
is
Ratchet
gonna
and Clank. It's
get
gonna
the
be Ratchet
rap
and
of
Clank.
it. Yeah, they're
If they
gonna.
would just to show the
They're not
first
gonna be
trailer,
rap. They'll
show
be fine.
gameplay, and then release the fucking game. We don't need
Yeah,
like three fucking live events to show this
The
game. We know what it's
reason
gonna
why,
be.
it's
but look,
like
look. The reason why they're doing this, in my opinion, from what I've read and what I've heard, is that literally they have, uh, sorry, what is it called? Sony. What is their name? Sony Dub or Sony? I can't. Dev. Sony Dev. I think it's called. The one of the people they're involved with putting towards in conjunction with Naughty Dog in reference to working on Uncharted slash other Naughty Dog things. There are games that they keep trying to regurgitate, basically. Those individual places. They're like, oh, we want to make this, or we want a sequel to Days Gone. That was one of my things. And then
Yeah,
but it's getting knocked down because
it's
Sony's like,
going
no,
back to the whole Among Us problem. Is that like people are so scared to like go into something new? They keep doing the same game over and over and over again. Like,
well,
how many times
yeah.
are we gonna play the same type of game? It could be like
But
the different title, but it's the
to my
same
point,
fucking game.
what I'm saying is that right now, because of the that concept of being scared, like you said, um, they're getting knocked down in different developers. Like for instance, the fact that uh was it Uncharted the remake got taken from Naughty Dog and got sent to another section of Sony to be created. Because I mean, do we really need another remake of? Sorry, it wasn't Uncharted. They got scrapped or pushed to the side. The Last of Us, the Last of Us, I meant the Last of Us, the first one, got taken from one section and got pushed to another group of Sony so that they can create it instead. And it's like a whole lot of drama behind that apparently within Sony. And then they're gonna like update it, but we're like, is it really that old though? Didn't we just have a remake of The
no, we
Last of
spoke
Us?
about that last week. It's only like 8 years old, and
Yeah,
they're
it's
already
like it's
trying to
like
make a
we don't.
PS5 remake.
Yeah, so the whole point behind that is the other gaming news I had was literally they're doing that because or speculations anyway is because The Last of Us the TV show that's gonna be coming out. Was it on HBO, right? Or Netflix, something like that? And yeah, they're like, oh, maybe that's why they're doing it. Is it really gonna be different? Like, how different can it be? Are they gonna make it more like Last of Us 2, like the to make it more on course, or are they gonna change the narrative of the game a little bit, like not the main story, obviously, but so it could be in conjunction with the TV show that's coming out? It's like money wise, yeah, okay, I get you. I get what they're doing. People are gonna buy it because people, as
That's
you
the
said,
last of us on this
I
name.
think the problem, I hope it's not that, because if it's that, then it's fucking stupid. I think the
that's
people
the
who are
stupid.
interested in Last of Us are the people who already bought the first one, who already bought the second one, who probably already has the fucking free game that they released for PlayStation Plus members. So I just don't think that. I think Sony is playing catch up. Dre,
You think it's
read
that?
read what Crazy said.
So Crazy Eight says, honestly, from what I heard, they were going to change a couple of things in the remastered version, but I don't know if it's true or not. I would have found an article to back the sources up, but I think it was a rumor from somebody else that they were going to plan on doing that. And I think I don't even know. I didn't read anything about them changing anything up,
I
but
hope not.
I
That'd be
just
They're not
read
stupid.
that
saying
they
they're
just
changing
wanted to
anything.
put out the same game with better graphics, and Naughty Dog was actually against this. Like, they wanted to work on something else. I believe they wanted to work on the next Uncharted sequel, and
Yeah,
Sony pulled them from working on the Uncharted sequel to work on
into The
this
Last of Us.
Last of Us
Watch this.
third remake. It's not even the
Naughty
third
Dog.
remake, the
It's the
second
third,
remake.
second, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Naughty Dog is
and it's
gonna
such
be
a short
just
time.
like, yeah. Naughty Dog is just gonna be like Bioware, where all the
Right.
original heads of Naughty Dog is gonna end up leaving,
Or
Yes,
and Naughty
Bungie.
and that's where
Dog,
it led to. That's where it led to. There were
yeah.
some people
Oh,
who
yeah.
left
So
because they
like Naughty
played
Dog is gonna be Bioware, where
and they thought
like
they were
Or
doing
Bioware had
Bioware.
Bungie.
this.
Like Bungie, where
Oh,
everybody
but
from
Bioware,
Halo was just
Bungie,
like
It already started
ready to
happening.
go.
Some people
they're gonna
started
have this
leaving because of
name.
that. But
Man, Crazy's putting paragraphs up there. Okay,
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it was something about changing the ending of the first game, but like I said, I would have to find my source. Honestly, they shouldn't even remake the game. If you already played the first one, why have the need to put it on the next gen console? I agree. I think that it should be a free upgrade to the old one. Like, hey, we upgraded
Yeah.
this to the PS5. Boom, that's
Exactly.
it.
It's like you want better graphics, better frames per second than just put in the old disc or download your game and it's a free
But who is
update.
this catering to?
Yeah, I don't know, but the crazy thing about PlayStation fans is that it's like I said earlier, as much as they say we got all the exclusive, you don't buy them all. So it's
Yeah.
just like it's like there's gonna be a bunch of people out there that yes, that are gonna buy this game again, even though we played this twice, but there's going to be people out there that still only played this game for the first time on a fucking PS5, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Like some remakes I do like Diablo 2. They're doing the
Yeah,
Resurrection. That's something that I never got a chance to play. I didn't have a PC growing up, so I miss playing Diablo games. They wasn't available for me.
yeah.
The remake of Command and Conquer, again, like those are games that like I missed during my childhood because I didn't have access to
You
it.
know what's so funny about that? When I didn't have a gaming PC, but my dad bought me Diablo 2 when it came out because all my friends at school was like, yo, you gotta play Diablo 2. You gotta play Diablo. I put that game in, installed it in my computer, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I did not give a shit about Diablo 2. I'm like, yo, this is what people are hype about. Like, in all honesty, like, yes, I get it now as an adult after being so I bought Diablo 3 three times, but when I played Diablo 2 when I was in middle school, I'm like, what the fuck is what are you? I went back to school, like my dad wasted some of my N64 money to buy me this goddamn game. I played this shit, and what the fuck were you guys so hyped about? This is just a game with me running around and shooting
Clicking.
things out of my character, and this is
Yeah.
not entertaining to me. Like I did not give a shit about Diablo 2. I told my dad I wasted my money. Well, I didn't waste my money. He wasted his money, buying me this game. I did not give two craps. But now that I'm an adult and I appreciate Diablo more, yes, when this remake comes out, I will be buying it. But as a kid, I did not give a fuck about
Yeah.
Diablo 2. That shit was garbage to me. Like, I'll say it straight up. Diablo was garbage, when I was a child. I did not get what you guys were so hyped up about. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go back to my Diddy Kong racing. You guys call me when you're in the future. So I didn't care about fucking Diablo when I was a kid. But now that I'm older and I'm more intricate with my games, Diablo 2 actually seems like it should have been a good game to me, but it was shitty to me as a kid.
Please, you ever played?
I do have Diablo 3. I have not played Diablo 2. Didn't have access to that either as a kid. Uh, I honestly was playing probably the same games that he was playing, but they weren't mine. As a young girl, I was not allowed to play games because they said it was for boys. So I would
Oh,
sneak and
that's
play.
bullshit.
I know, I know, but I would sneak and play
Man,
games.
I was in Denver. Like I didn't have video games. I just played football on the streets and just hanged out. I didn't start actually really playing video games until I moved to New York,
Mm.
and so I had no idea. I never knew these games. So like now I'm like almost like going backwards and trying to like this like see what the
Catch
hype
up.
was for all these
See
I
what it
games.
remember when
was.
we were in high school, right, and we first started talking. I'm like, yo, did you play this video game? And you're like, no. I'm like, how the fuck did you not play? I'm like, come to my
Cause
house.
I'm poor.
I'm just like, yo, come to my house and you're gonna play this goddamn game. Like, what the fuck you mean you didn't play this game? Like,
Yeah.
come to my goddamn house. Like, and we're gonna get into games. I'm gonna show you
Yeah,
what
I
life
was the
is
kid
about.
who used to go to like the friend's house to play games because I couldn't play games at
You
home.
know,
Yeah,
yeah,
Not
I
I was
used
like
to
like
not
be in
that
even
the
like
too.
house all the time.
it was just not the priority. It wasn't my family's priority. They're like, we need food first. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I
I was like
understand.
reading books and shit. Reading books
Like,
and
yeah,
playing
my
like fucking a
grandmother
handful
wished I
of
would have read all the fucking books that she put in front of me, even though
yeah.
most of those books were the goddamn Bible.
Yep. That was partially my childhood.
Oh God. Oh God. I wish
Crazy
we wish we
said,
could have been.
it's like everyone was hype about RuneScape. I never played it.
Yes, I played RuneScape. Was not fascinated by that shit either. But
Oh,
now,
Maple
as an
Story?
adult, I will play RuneScape. But back then, it was not nothing crazy to me.
The same thing
RuneScape.
with WoW. I always wanted to get into it, but I could
Okay,
never get
so I
Oh,
into it.
got into WoW. I had an addiction. It was really bad, and I got
Yo,
my
we should
boyfriend at the time.
play.
bro. In the beginning, WoW
No,
was
no,
the
I can't
shit.
go back. I
But I
cannot
got
go
on
back.
it like after the DLC like stopped coming out, and now World of Warcraft was
It's
just
still
like
coming out.
after playing Elder Scrolls Online and then playing WoW. I'm just like, this is degrading my life. Like Elder Scrolls Online is up here now, and WoW is like right here.
I can't go
And
back to WoW. I can't. I can't
I
do it.
tried playing
It's
WoW.
like me trying to go back to Final Fantasy 11 or Final Fantasy 14. I keep them all up to date though.
Yeah, I played my
They're
Final
all up to
Fantasy.
date.
Final Fantasy 14 is still the shit to me.
But I'm
I'll,
like,
I'll,
look, they're
I'll
all up
play
to
the fuck
date.
out of Final Fantasy
We should
14.
honestly like Gamerish Network. Let us know if you guys want us to do like an MMO and we could start like a clan, and we can start it up. Gamerish Network clan. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
That would be dope.
for
But
real,
you
for
probably wouldn't win
real.
if you will.
Go around and we do some PvP in Elder Scrolls and just kill people. Like you just got served by the Gamerish Network,
Yes,
and then
sir.
teabag. Everybody has to teabag that person once
Why we gotta
before
be
we move on.
toxic? What we not? This is a safe space. It's not
No, we
toxic.
not toxic online. We can be
It
toxic
says
in
safe,
game.
safe
Okay,
space.
we can
That's
be
part of the
Yeah,
toxic
I'm
in
not
content.
game.
toxic. I don't do that shit unless they start it. If they want to start
Exactly.
shit,
But
then
Drain,
I'll
Drain
You
finish
be
was
the
it.
most
the he the
toxic person playing
yeah.
that damn rogue company. What do you
Oh yeah,
mean?
today you should have saw me, man. I was fucking just, I straight up just fucking them up.
Nah.
Um,
As the
that's a
mother
good,
of gamers, clearly. We're not toxic, we're good.
yeah.
Oh, look at that. See, Crazy Ace plays Final Fantasy
He's trying to pull
14.
me in. He's trying to pull me in. Oh.
But
Yeah.
I guess before I hope everyone I will
I
warn you
know.
guys now.
I had him up.
We're about to talk about Mortal Kombat. If you
Oh
don't
yes.
want to hear about Mortal Kombat,
It's been a
fast
week, right?
forward like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes into the future right now, because we're about
7 minutes
to get into that
sounds
Mortal
rant.
Kombat conversation.
Yes, 5 minutes. So it's yeah, we're almost 30 minutes. So 5 minutes we'll end the spoiler talk. All right, go ahead, Drake.
So I'm gonna let you guys tell me, like, Felice, you go first because you'll be the most softest on what you felt about Mortal Kombat. I feel like you're gonna be the one that's gonna take it easy on this movie, so I want to hear what
I don't
you
know how
have
I
to
feel about that
say.
statement, but
No, I'm just
Not
feel like
soft like
you're.
weak,
Well,
soft
we
like
talked in our group chat. You had a lot to say, and I feel
nice.
between the three of us, you were the nicest about this movie. So I want to hear what you have to say before me and Freddie go and start shitting on it.
all right. Well,
I go first. I don't care. You
you
could.
guys,
Okay, all right. We'll get Freddie's view first, so he's gonna shit on it. That Felice could put the good stuff, and then I shit on it more with some
So
a
I don't
shit
distance.
have.
sandwich then. A shit
I
sandwich.
don't.
Got it.
Oh jeez. I don't need. I don't need that right now in my life.
Mm.
I was gonna say I don't think it was the worst. I think that again is kind of my fault as a consumer hyping
We
this
overhyped
movie
it
up,
ourselves.
and those trailers were badass. But just like King Kong versus Godzilla, they showed everything in the fucking trailer. Like there was nothing that other impressive stuff I saw in the trailer, and it was disappointing that like everything in between was just fluff, and I didn't really need it. I like Kano. I think he stole the show, but I think the reason I'm a little bit upset about Kano stealing the show is that like it's not the movie's not supposed to be about him. You know, he's supposed to be a side character, and there's a spoilers. He dies at the end. So like, you built this movie up around this character that everybody liked, and then you kill him off, and then, it was just very disappointing that like he was like the heart of the movie from my point of view,
Is
and
that like?
um
Nah, go ahead. I can't remember what I was
and
gonna say.
I think the fighting was awesome. Sub Zero Mortal Kombat was awesome, but everything else was just average, below average maybe. I would probably give it a 3. Net points. Yeah, quick and easy. Nothing. I could keep talking shit, but I want to go around because we only got 3 minutes. Go.
Okay, since we're being timed today. Uh, yeah, I actually before speaking to these guys who just shitted on the movie and I was like sad about it. I thought since I grew up with Mortal Kombat, I know I'm in the same age bracket as Dre is.
We
Um,
all did.
no, no.
Do you
Since
think
I've
Dre's
been,
old younger than me? We're all the same age. Me and Dre the same age.
are you? Shit, am I the
Yeah.
oldest one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the oldest.
I'm
We went to
36.
high
How old are
school
you?
together. We was in the same classes and everything.
How old are you?
We're
I
both
don't want to say
32.
my. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do I have a baby face? I take it.
Sure. We'll just continue. Anyway, I honestly, since I grew up with it, playing like the first one. Granted, I didn't own it, but had access to it going to the arcades, watching the shitty movies because there was like a whole era of like shitty movies between Mortal Kombat and other like I guess video game movies that they were trying to make a thing, like the avatars and whatever.
Well, the
Well,
first Mortal
avatars.
Kombat movie was good.
Haste my turn.
Yeah.
Haste my
Annihilation was
turn.
I
whack.
think the first one was good too.
Like haste my turn. um, yeah, the first one was okay. At the time as a child, I was just excited to see something Mortal Kombat related. But then, like, I think it was like, was it two more movies or something like that? Um, and as I watched them, like, you had to like give it like a curve on the scale in reference to like, oh well, I know they can't. We don't have technology yet to get to that point. So I mean, the writing is kind of okay, I guess. It's not really that good, but like you can see your characters, and it's like cheesy as fuck because they usually do the finish 'em and stuff like that. But this one, I mean, I'm a person that likes a lot of like stuff that you can see. Like I'm very visual, so I did like the visuals. I did love Kano, which we discussed. I loved Kano a lot. I didn't care if he died or not. I was surprised that he died, but I wasn't at the same time. I wasn't that shocked, because he had it coming. um, I liked how they explained, well, how they chose to say about the powers. That was interesting to me, you know, how you get your powers, and then like the main character who I did not really connect with, like you said, he didn't do anything for me. I did like Sonya though, to a degree, not that much, and I felt bad for fucking Jax because that was fucking brutal. But yeah, I would say I told you the same thing. Three out of five. I didn't think it was that bad though. Not like you guys just straight up thought it was trash, and you guys said the first one was better.
No, no, I
I
don't think it was trash.
The
I just
conversation
think
that we had said
that it
it was
was
trash.
overhyped. We
Yes,
overhyped it as
we overhype
gamers.
everything though. That's
Yeah,
what we
we
do.
overhyped it. If you
We
went
Well,
into
that trailer
there,
was
expectations.
badass.
yeah,
The trailer was the whole movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did like okay the Scorpion. I liked the beginning how they tried to weave his story in,
I don't.
but it
That's
left
my
me
main
guessing.
problem.
It
That's my
left
main
it
problem.
left me guessing some things towards when you finally get to see the main character because I was like, wait, okay, so I guess I had to figure out that he was a descendant. It didn't like automatically leave my brain there. I was like, I thought the girl that I saw, I thought the girl was a descendant when she first showed up, but that was like someone that he knew. You know? Does that make any sense? Like
I
they
know
didn't
what you're
just make
saying.
they just make it seem like it was him that was the most important thing. It was I was like, oh, it's her. I was like, oh, wait, he's fighting. It's definitely him. It's definitely him. He was
Yeah,
whack. He
like
reminded me of a uh uh the dude from the Karate Kid. He was literally his narrative was the next Karate Kid to
so
me.
if you're, I'm just like
I'm
Cole
done.
was. I feel like it would have been better to put him as DLC in Mortal Kombat 11 before he came out in this movie, so we have some things for us to care about when it comes to him. Because it's just like Cole seemed to be like a creation of not the people that were making this movie, but the ideas of the people upstairs again, which you guys already know how I feel about people upstairs.
Yeah.
And they're just like, how about giving the people someone to relate to? And a family man who's gonna be there in the tournament, and let's relate him to Scorpion. Scorpion don't got no fucking relatives in fucking Mortal Kombat fighting. All right. If you ever watched the anime movie of Mortal Kombat, Scorpion's Revenge, Scorpion comes back from the dead after making a deal to kill Sub Zero. There was no family member that held his fucking spear and brought him back into the fucking realm, because that makes no sense. All these years you could have killed Sub Zero, and you wait till your family member has your fucking spear in your hand, and all of a sudden, oh, now I have the power to escape hell and fight Sub Zero. No, you had many years you could have did that shit. So that shit pissed me off. Cole is also whack. He's dumb. He tried fighting his family out of ice when, like, you're fighting Sub Zero and these guys get broken out of ice, and all of a sudden, oh my god, no hypothermia, no frostbite. We're just out of the ice, and everybody just looks all normal. But Scorpion's family just dies just like that from being put in ice. But us, because we're from the future, all of a sudden we're
Global
not
warming.
affected by ice.
Shut up.
It's
Uh,
global warming.
like it's just it was just so annoying. So that whole cold shit is just dumb.
It's not
Um,
his fault. It's bad writing.
Yeah, bad writing, exactly. Like the people upstairs, like I said, like they need to stay the fuck out of the director's way. Let directors and the one thing about directors, I don't want directors that don't know shit about these video games. I don't want them just picking up somebody that don't play video games. I'd rather have a fucking director that knows his shit. Like how the guy who makes Falcon and Winter Soldier, Kevin Feige, he's grew up on Marvel and he loves his Marvel comics, and now he gets to make movies based on his Marvel comics that he read and make them even better. That's a man who's doing all the right things. But when you got directors coming in there and just like, okay, can you give me the lore of Mortal Kombat and I'll see what I could do with this? Like those people that come in there and don't put their foot down and are going to listen to the people above, because these directors really don't seem to know that if they all just told all the people upstairs, if you're going to tell me what to do, I'm not making this movie. You guys have all the power. You really have all the power. Like, if people start speaking up, but it seems like the people in the movie world are all bitches and they all can't speak up for themselves. and
Because
just
after the
say,
day, they're
you
getting
know,
paid. Why do they give a shit? You know?
that's the thing. You gotta give a shit. If you don't
No,
give a
they
shit,
don't.
why make these movies then? If you don't give a
Because they know
shit,
people will pay
don't
for it.
make
It's a
the movie.
business.
Like we want people that care. We want
We
people that
want,
They don't
fucking
care
but
that the
care.
people
content
who
care. They don't care about that. They
like
care
they
about
don't
making
care
money.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's the bottom dollar, and like they're making money off this shit because people are going to see it. You know,
Like
they
my
don't give a
friend
shit if you
went to
don't
the
like
movies
it.
to
You
see
already
it.
paid your
Well,
ticket.
My
the
friend paid a
movie had
ticket
to
to the
make a
movies to see
certain
it.
amount of movie for it to get a sequel, right? Obviously, it made the right amount of money that they're already talking about the sequel. But if the
No,
sequel isn't good enough, then you guys are fucked. Then these guys are fucked.
Who's gonna be the bad guy? Because they already killed Goro.
Nah, well, they
Kano's
didn't even do
dead.
Mortal Kombat yet. There was
I
no Mortal
know. I'm saying
Kombat
they
in
already
this movie.
killing motherfuckers already.
Well, they got to like
They killed Sub Zero. Like what the fuck?
no. Then he's gonna come back as Noob Saibot.
Yeah,
He's gonna come back as they already confirmed that he's coming back as Noob Saibot. It's already confirmed. So I read
that's
that
right.
article today. So
Yeah.
it's just like man, I just wish we lived in a world where the people actually ruled what happens in this world. Like we were the majority vote, and it's just like, yo, you gave us bullshit. Stop worrying about the people upstairs. But until we start boycotting this bullshit,
The problem is that just I mean I don't want to get into this, but like people are just people find any excuse not to be happy. Like with the whole Captain America and Winter Soldier, people are still mad that the Falcon became Captain America because he's black. And like,
those are
yo,
people that
if
don't
you
read
read the
comics.
comics, no, but I'm
Yeah,
saying like that's what my point is that people are never gonna be happy. Even like the people who like this try hard, like super fan hards, and be like, it's just always gonna be a fucking problem. So like, I think that it's not worth getting stressed over. Like,
I guess not. Well, I guess this always goes into me and everybody always bitching and whining anyway.
yeah,
But this time it's not about us bitching and whining. It's about the people upstairs thinking they know what's best for us. Like when it comes to me bitching and whining, it comes to when people complain about games being released early. Like that's earlier than they need to be. Like me, it's just like put out the game and patch it up. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing the game. Like other people could whine about it. You're still gonna get your damn money. So if
yeah.
that's the case, we're going to do on movies in which they can't be patched. We're just going to have to deal with what happens in movies. That is just like we need a whole movie theater, movie directors, and the people upstairs on a higher standard that we hold video game creators. Could at least video game creators could patch their shit. Movie directors can't. You're not going to be able to fix this once it goes out in the movie theaters. You're not fixing it at all. Zack Snyder got lucky that we were able to see his vision of Justice League and shit. But unfortunately, we might never see what happens after that.
I
True.
mean there are when it comes to DVD and Blu-ray alternative endings and
Like
stuff.
director's cuts and stuff.
Director's
Yeah,
cuts, the
but
extra
how many
director's
people are
cut,
still
the
buying
special
those
that.
things now? There's already
I mean, well,
rumors
there's a
coming
deal
out
right
that
now with
Blu-rays
Sony.
are about to be discontinued. I just read it
No,
last week.
there's a deal with Sony right now, which I think is going to end soon, where if you buy like certain movies on their on PlayStation, or rather just Sony Home Theater, whatever you call it, they giving you an extra movie for free, which ends like really relatively soon. So like that, who knows if they don't continue to do things like that, and some of them are director's cuts.
Yep. No,
So
hey, we'll see, man. I just
there's a
hope
will,
these
or
people
there's a will for it.
smarten up. Like, there needs to come a day where directors need to make a union and just realize that if you guys make a union, then the people up top can't tell you what to do anymore if you
You have to also
unionize.
realize that you're just assuming that the directors care also. It's not just the people up top. It's the people who are involved. Like he said, they're getting their money, they're getting their coins, they don't give a fuck. So we, the people, do give a fuck, but they don't. They
You
don't
gotta
understand
like,
that.
it's just tough because I think a lot of people are really hyped for this movie. I had no like Godzilla King Kong. I knew what that was gonna
That movie
be,
was trash.
you
Yeah, I
know.
already knew how that
But
movie was
like
going
when I
to
saw this trailer for Mortal Kombat, I thought maybe I'm like
Yeah,
maybe
finally.
could be some kind of new level of fucking
Yeah.
awesome shit. And then like, it just sucks because we get clips of what they want us to see. and then so it just sucks because, and honestly, we can't really listen to reviewers because they have their own agendas. So it's kind of tough to really know what to do in these situations.
Yeah. All right.
Man,
Well, I
was
guess
mad depressed.
I
we'll
know, I know.
like let's see.
What
Wait.
you got
Well,
next?
Crazy Eights. Before we go on to our gaming news, he said, "Honestly, you could have seen this not coming. This is Hollywood. They find a way to mess everything up." Uh, and then yeah, then he agreed with everything else we had to say. But you know how Hollywood is. We know how Hollywood is. We Hollywood is fucking Hollywood,
I
man.
was gonna say with HBO Max and like them setting for like movies directly to demand, are you guys gonna go back to movie theaters if you have an option for movie theaters or at
Well,
home?
that's only for this year. After this year,
No, I'm
that
just saying like if that's like if they make that a standard, would you
well,
do
I
you have?
already started going to movie theaters already. Like I've seen 3 movies already in the movie theaters in the past month. Like I'm already there. And New
Oh
York
no,
is about to open back up on July 1st, and everything's
I
gonna
think
go back to
that
full
if I have the
capacity.
I'm not
choice, I
ready.
would watch it at home.
I'm
Yeah,
not
if I
ready.
had the choice, I would watch it
That's
at
what I'm saying.
home.
Like if you had the choice,
Yeah, I will watch it at home, but if I gotta go back to movie theaters, that's what I'm doing, man. This is whatever, man. I could go back to drinking liquor while watching movies in the movie theaters, even though I could do that at home. But it's not as fun as home as when people are yelling in my ear while I'm drinking liquor. You know?
and
So,
what we got game news or what we doing? You want to talk
all right.
about Winter Soldier? We touched on it a little bit.
When it comes to Winter Soldier, let's see. I'm I'm up and down with the show all the way up to episode 6 was good to me. Episode 6 I felt was anticlimactic. You know, it's like
Which episode was that?
the final episode, the finale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was anti-climatic, climatic, and I like the message they try to put here and there, like when Sam at the end and he's giving a message and everything, and which was cool and everything. But it it just didn't have like the action that the other episodes had. It's just like how many times are you guys gonna go into this fight and then talk with somebody, blah blah blah? Like I love the interaction between Bucky and Sam. Like those are my favorite interaction. And Sam and the old Captain America. You know, the first Captain, the Black Captain America. You know, those are like some of my favorite scenes in the movie. And for those scenes to outweigh the action, I feel like it's just like says something about the show. You know, it doesn't have to take it in a negative way. You know, because those of us who, of course, are black, we're not going to take that in a negative way. But you know, it just shows that like you guys had something going on here where I feel like the audience is split. In which like there was an article that came out in which they said like 60% of viewers that after that one scene where Sam and Bucky are arguing, the cops come and ask him if what's all right. They come and they act
I
and they
heard that
do
was
that whole
bullshit.
yeah. They claim that 60% of viewers cut off the episode after that
Nah,
whole scene
I don't
because they're
believe
like,
that. I
yeah,
think people
why?
are just trying to start shit again, like
Yeah, I'm just
always.
they're just like, why is Disney being all woke and shit? You know, just
It's
like,
not
but
being woke, and that's
yeah,
the problem. Is that like people don't understand what the point of the show was? Is that for a black man to become Captain America is a fucking big deal, and
yeah, it's
they're
not just
showing it the
a simple
respect.
process. Like the comics made it seem like it's a simple process,
Yeah,
but
it's not
in here they're trying to show like in the world we live today, it's not as simple as just putting that fucking suit on and picking up the shield. You know, it's
exactly.
definitely not as simple as just doing that. You know, and his interactions with the first Black Captain America showed you that it's just not that simple, you know, and which makes me very interested in where the Captain America 4 movie is going to go. You know, like, 'cause there's so much they could expand on with Captain America 4, you know, like, so I can't wait to see where it goes, especially when they got to add on other shit. and I'm pretty sure other heroes are going to be brought into this because when it comes to Sam being Captain America, like Spider Man is involved in that shit. Punisher is involved in that shit. So if we could get all these other licenses put out there before this movie comes out, I feel like that Captain America 4 is going to be on some bomb shit. Like,
For
it's
sure.
going to be crazy. But as for the show, I liked it. I still felt like the season finale was anticlimactic. Zemo, for the most part, that motherfucker was like the Kano of this show. Like Zemo was very entertaining. He like stole the show in every scene he was in. He is very entertaining. Love that motherfucker. He is way more entertaining than in the fucking Civil War movie. And like, yeah. So, but I still like the show. But I feel like the season finale was anticlimactic. But I understand that the show was about developing these characters and making us more hype to see them when the next set of movies come out. But
Yeah. Please, did you get a chance to watch it?
I didn't watch the season finale actually. I watched up to episode 5. I didn't get a chance to watch episode
It
6,
was pretty vague about it.
but I did see well, I saw the whole first episodes clearly, and I did like what they did in reference to introducing the first black, technically Captain America. I thought it was important. It was poignant. You cannot tell the story of where they're trying to go without telling the story of where they been and where they created it from. You know, so I thought that was pretty interesting. It gets mentioned a couple of times in like what was it, Marvel Shields of Agents.
oh,
I
Shield, Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield, yeah, Marvel's Agents of Shields. It gets mentioned a couple times there when you think about the Super Soldier Project, but not really. It's like the thing that they did to the black guy that kind of makes him like the cyborg guy. Well, I know cyborg is DC, FYI, but it kind of makes him like that kind of a thing.
Yeah. And his name is Isaiah Bradley. For those who are thinking like this motherfucker forgot his name. His name is Isaiah Bradley. Okay, that was the Black Captain America.
Yeah, so I think that it's really important that they spoke on that. People, to what you said, Freddie. People always refer to the current direction that the comics are going, or the movies are going rather, to like, oh, the comics weren't this political, but all of the comics were political because they were all made during political times.
Yeah.
And realistically, to me anyway, to say that speaking about a black person experiencing America's political is messed up because it shouldn't be political. It's literally you're talking about life, and race. But I get how people are stuck on the concept of it being political because like, oh man, I don't want to see another thing about another person complain about getting pulled over by the cops because they're black. And you're like, my dude, it exists. Just because you don't want to admit it, just because you want to see it, it exists.
Yeah.
But no, it was really poignant. And I think that to Dre's point, I'm curious of where it's gonna lead because I feel like shows like the HBO show that they did for with Regina King, with was Dr. Manhattan, Regina King.
Watchmen.
Thank you. I suck at TV names right now. So I think that shows like that and other shows that kept pushing forward and pushing forward and pushing forward, and finally that being so successful as it was, even though a lot of people had like some sort of, I want to say backlash, but like a wokeness, even though it's not really them being woke. I feel like that gave us way to be able to create a show like this, an episode like this, you know, like
Yeah.
just like what, like right now I'm watching, for instance, just like wait, American Gods, and
Love
you
that
know,
show.
granted, Orlando Jones is not anymore, and I'm very pissed off about it because I had a whole conversation about this previously. But they still the episodes I'm on right now. They're talking about a lot of stuff. This last season 3 and shows like, for instance, these when they're leading the way to make others be able to talk about the conversation or have the conversation, and I think that they're important because they're part of our life, they're part of our history. They're part of our future, technically, because unless you talk about it, you just put it on the rug. And then you can't, like, oh, we're just fighting. Because I know as a child, when you're a kid growing up with the comics, you just like, oh, I got my superheroes. And you play with the toys and you're just fighting. But you're not thinking about, oh, this guy couldn't do this because he's black. Or but that's only because that's how we think as a child, you know.
Hmm.
But the shows are like we're adults for the most part. The shows are like, oh, this is what happened, and if you go back and read your comics, you're like, oh, that don't seem right. You know, it's
Yeah.
important. But I really liked what they did. I thought it was very powerful, and I connected to it. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 if I
Hmm.
had to like review the whole
I would give
season.
it a 4 too. I would give it
I
a 4
think
too.
that
It needs a
U.S.
little more.
Agent Walker, he definitely he's a great. I think he's a really good actor. The way that I always give props to bad guys who make you hate them and like make you just not like them because that's their job. It's like they're playing a character, you don't like him, he's
Anti.
nailing it.
That's anti Captain America.
No, I guess he's want to be Captain America for the most part.
Didn't he remind you
But
of the other guy from the other show that was just the boys?
What
well,
the
The main guy in the
Homelander?
boys. Yes,
Homelander.
he had like Homeland vibes when he did the thing with
Well,
the
I
shield.
can't do that with shows like Invincible on
I'm
where
sorry, it
you
just
got to watch Invincible and then you'll see the
I
real
already watched
Homelander.
Invincible.
You got to watch that on Amazon.
I already
But
Homeland.
watched
I
it.
like Walker because he you get where he's coming from in a sense. Like he's like the same thing with Sam. He's trying to fill these shoes, these big ass shoes that Captain America left, and you know he's playing by the rules that the American army gave him. They're like, this is your mission, and he has like PTSD from like
He
the shit that
does.
he went through, and like he's constantly like comparing himself to Captain America, and like you see that struggle of him trying to be somebody who's perfect in his eyes, and you see that struggle with Sam, who's trying to like doesn't know if he wants to take that on that Captain America Steve Rogers had, and I like that they show so much respect to Steve Rogers as Captain America, and you know I think that it's pretty dope. I was a little disappointed at the end. I'm an action guy, so I'm like, where's the action? But it's not always about the action. I think it was awesome. 4 out of 5. I would want to see a second season for sure.
Mm. I think that to what you said, it's just my last statement on what you just said though. You said that you like the fact that they were like struggling to both fill the shoes of this great person, or which was even beyond a person because they kept referencing the shield as being like the shield is Captain America. It was like a symbol. It was similar to the shield is the flag, for instance, right? Which is why, and I don't know their names. I'm sorry. Which is why the guy Sam didn't want the shield because he was like this means this thing like to be a black man holding the shield means this thing you know like America's flag is painted in the blood of people, and it's like to show me up here. It's like there's gonna be some horrible things to go with it. People go, depending on where he was at, you saw certain people recognized him, like when he went to like the regular area or poor area or I guess low income area, they knew who he was. But then when he went to like certain places, like the cops pulled him over. But anyway, that's the point. And then the other dude, I don't remember his name, but the anti Captain America, I'm calling him. Um, he legit like the struggle with the PTSD, like you said, that he went through. Like it was like so obvious that he was not fit to be Captain America because Sam kept turning away from the shield and he kept being like, nah, this is who I am. This is who I am. He kept trying to make himself believe that this is who he has to be. This is who he was. And for me, it was so poignant of a message because when he's talking to his partner that unfortunately died, um,
Which
literally
is dumb shit because he's supposed to
that hurt
become the
my heart,
Patriot.
yo.
He's supposed to become the Patriot. So I'm just like, maybe
Yeah,
in the
that hurt my
movies
heart.
they're gonna find some way that they brought him back to life. It's gonna
Some
be
type
like
of
a
program or something,
end
right?
scene credit or some shit that they brought him back to life. But he got to become the Patriot, so he got to be brought back to life.
Yeah, but literally the way that they did that, like it just seemed like that both groups were like the same groups battling to be the group. Did you notice that?
Uh huh.
Both of the sides. But yeah, it was just so obvious that he wasn't meant to be because of the PTSD that you mentioned. It was so obvious he wasn't meant to be it, and he was just like so hungry for it to be like
I
what
don't
they
see. That's
wanted
the
him to
thing.
be.
Like, I don't think he was hungry for it. I think he was like the government told him, "This is who you're gonna be now," and like they told him to like because of what his medals of honor. Even him in the thing, he's like,
What his
I won these medal of
background
honors,
is.
but
Oh, so
like
it's some
I
fuck
don't feel
shit.
like I earned them. He's like,
Yeah,
I don't
because
think
he
that
did some fuck
like
shit to get them.
yeah,
He didn't do
and
them to
that's my
get them. He
point was
he got
like
rewarded with
the
them.
no, he enlisted into the military and Uncle Sam or the president or whoever you want to blame told him go, this is your mission. And when he lost I don't know if you told the episode, but when he lost his power of being captain, when they took it away, he's like, I did everything you told me to do, like I'm this because you made me this. So I
Yeah,
think
I
that
saw
like
that. I saw that. I
he's
saw
a
that.
problem, like his
Well,
fuck
then
up
he
story.
lost that because he murdered some dude in the square.
But my point was that like they made him into
I know.
this
They made him a
character.
killing machine. And they
Yes, and
expected
like
him to
he's
be a
like, you
golden
told
boy.
me to do this, you
They
made
expected him to
me
be a
like
golden
this.
boy.
I've only listened to what you told me to do, and now you're taking it away from me. So like he was
But
just a tour in
can
the
you really
fucking
blame
system.
them for his actions because he chose to kill that guy? He was just
Yo, it was funny because
no. You must admit though, there was a split second where he knew he knew that that person didn't kill him, but
no,
he still killed
yeah, for
anybody
sure what he
because he
was
was
did was
angry
wrong. But
because he
like
couldn't process his
in
feelings
I think
because
in the
of
first
PTSD.
episode, Falcon was throwing people out of the helicopter left and right. I think the only difference was like people wasn't recording him, but Falcon straight up killed people in the first episode.
We
He was
won't
like
talk
throwing
about that.
people
We
out.
won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
Yeah. So my point is like
That shit was funny though.
my point was like it was the moment like
It was
people getting
raw.
like they're saying like our military is killing people left and right. It's just not being recorded, so everybody's okay with it. But like you put it
I
on,
respect that. I respect that.
so
You
I
got
don't
me.
think I think it was funny that people was like, but with the Falcon was just like toosh, toosh, like he was just
No,
flying
but like,
away.
come on. I guess when it's on center stage, served to you on a dinner plate, that shit's intense versus no one knowing. But it's still murder. It's still murder. But the way he did it, that shit was this. Okay, throw somebody on the plane is a lot, but he just kept. And then
He
did it
killed
with the
his
shield.
best friend. His best friend died. Like, what would you
I
do if
don't
your
give
best
a
friend
fuck.
died in front of you and you could
Well,
stop the man?
we won't even get into that. I was gonna say it's a difference between the way men react and women react. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't go on a rage and go killing people because I know how to. Women were used to having to be censored, which is a little fucked up in the society. But we are less likely to go on a murdering spree, unlike what people think, than men
But he
are.
was already fucked up.
He was fucked up.
Well, he
He
had the adrenaline going from the shot
Yeah.
and everything from taking the serum.
he had a
And,
choice. He chose to do that to make himself feel
yeah.
better.
Like Freddie, I love you and all, but like if somebody fucking like killed you right in front of me, and I
I
know I
die.
don't got superpowers,
Come
I'm
on.
like,
No, you
God damn.
if you had superpowers, if you
I
had
had
super soldier in
superpowers.
you,
I
and you
wouldn't
have
go
Captain
murder
America's
people.
shield in your
And
hand,
that's the difference
Well,
between making
I
someone
gotta
Captain
kill
America.
And you was a
everybody that
hero.
had the camera in their hand before I killed the person.
he didn't know
Like,
that he has a
if he
camera
was
there.
smart, he would have threw his shield and it threw everybody's fucking put
If it
everybody's
was Captain
arm off,
America and someone murdered his best friend, he
and
wouldn't have done it.
then kill the guy. Like if you were smart, you want to go all out, go all the way, then knock everybody the fuck out, and then you fucking do what you gotta
You
do.
get what I'm saying now? If he was Captain America, the actual Captain America, he wouldn't have murdered that guy.
No,
Even if it was his
Yeah,
best friend.
that's the whole point.
So,
Like that's
so the
why.
root of the thing is it's literally. I know you said drilling. Captain America has drilling too. Well, had because whatever. But if he had thought it through, like Captain America does, and that's what makes him the golden boy, versus
Yeah.
someone like just like suffering, like you said, PTSD. Actually, Captain America fucking has PTSD, had PTSD, but we don't even discuss that. But if he was the golden boy like Captain America, and his mind was more on being selfless versus being selfish, he wouldn't have went off and murdered that guy. He did that to make himself feel better because it didn't. It wasn't gonna bring his friend back, and he knows that person didn't kill his friend. It was the girl. He
The
knows.
one
He
thing
saw what happened.
we're
I think he was
leaving
just
out
yeah.
He was angry, and
is,
he could.
is
And because
that
he could,
Madam
he
Hydra
did.
was introduced in this whole shit. Madam Hydra, the one that made a U.S.
Vicky,
agent who he is now, and like a lot
Val,
of people
Vicky's
that
Val.
don't read the comics don't know that that's Nick Shields' ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, his lover and shit.
Yeah.
Like
God, you fanboys are so annoying.
yeah,
Like, who cares?
we can, because it comes into something that could come into play in one of the other movies if Sam Jackson is there, and then she just shows up out of nowhere like, yo,
Right.
remember what we used to have,
And
and
all
blah
that
blah
stuff.
blah. And then people are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is she talking about? We never saw Sam Jackson with her in any movie. But for those who read the comics, we know that Madam Hydra and Nick Fury used to have a thing before she became Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
So
They used to have trysts.
so just something to keep in mind, people, for those who don't
So,
know.
All right. Well, I
all right,
mean, I
Dre.
guess I'm done talking
And
about
I guess
that.
it's time to get into our gaming news because we only got but so much fucking time left
For sure.
before we got
That's
to
not
this
part of
shit.
gaming news. Wasn't some of that? I did some of the gaming news
Yeah,
already.
some of the gaming news got poured into there. Um, you know what? For the sake of it, I'm just gonna go first since I always got the most shit to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first is up. Resident Evil Reverse is getting delayed till the summer of 2021.
Hmm.
I don't care. It's supposed to come out with Village. It just shows again, once again, to me that every single Resident Evil multiplayer game that comes out sucks. And this one didn't look any better to me. And it looked like a piece of shit. And they think by delaying it, they're going to make it any better. But yes, I know there's a lot of people that said there's this one mode in Resident Evil that was good, but to me, all Resident Evil multiplayer games suck. So Felice, yes, you say that you seem to have liked it, but what do you feel? What's your opinion on this? Because to me, all Resident Evil multiplayer games suck. So like,
You don't
what's
like anything, though.
I like a lot of things. That's why I spend so much goddamn money.
No, you spend so much goddamn money so you can be the first to play everything. It's a difference. But
That's also right.
but I like the one that came with Resident Evil 3 remake, or was it no Resident Evil 2 remake? The one that just came
When
out.
you can play as the monster, they got the cameras and all that shit going around
I
and
like
shit.
that. I mean, granted, I never played
It
it
was
again.
okay, but
I
it
played the
didn't do
first remake. I
enough.
never played it again. So that's because I got life. It wasn't bad. It was actually entertaining, and then I got bored. That is true. That is true. But I don't think it sucked. I just think it needed more. Suck is like for me a 0 or a 1. It needed okay, maybe it was a 2.5. I know we don't do 2s and a half. I'm sorry, but yeah. But continue.
Yeah, I just know. What do you think, Fred? Like Resident Evil multiplayer game got delayed until summertime. Do you care?
This is the free one that will come with Village, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
reverse.
it's no longer coming out right
I
now.
don't care, man.
Exactly.
That's just so mean.
No, it's just like it's like Resident Evil is a one player game. It's just
I
like
know.
other than Resident Evil 5 and 6, like where they just were all
6 sucked
action
though.
oriented.
I
And
think, right?
Resident Evil 5 is the only one that my wife actually played with me, and like I had to do a lot of yelling, before I learned how to compose myself while playing video games.
Yo,
Have
I'm
you learned
learning
how to
that right
compose
now
yourself?
with Warzone with my wife. I'm constantly yelling at her. She
Oh,
hates
don't
it.
do that, guys.
I
It
know
makes
No,
it
it's
it's
even
like no.
better.
My thing with my wife is
She's
that
really good though.
yeah. So it pisses me off when she lets me die. I'm
Oh
like,
shit.
yo, you have my back, and she's over here on the other side of the map. I'm like, what the fuck?
She's
Me and
like,
my
yo, why
wife
did you
are
follow
working
me?
through it where
That's
it
your fault.
takes two. It takes two has forced us to be a team. You know,
I feel you.
Continue.
But
I can't
yes,
with
next
y'all.
up, Mortal Kombat Studios reportedly never saw for whatever the fuck their name is reportedly making a Marvel fighting game. You
What?
Oh, that'd be
know,
dope.
that would be dope.
Wait,
So seeing if you guys actually thought it
you
would
said
be
Mortal
dope.
Kombat Studios?
Yeah,
Like the people who
NetherRealm.
made
Like they made Mortal
Injustice.
Kombat versus DC.
You mean
No,
WB?
Injustice. Yeah,
WB.
WP.
They made the
Okay, thank
Injustice
you. Because I was
games, and they made
confused.
Mortal Kombat
What's
versus
the name of that
DC.
studio? Like Neverwinter or
Wait,
something?
can they
Nothing like
do
that.
that? Because
NetherRealms.
they don't
Nether
own.
Realms. There you go.
Wait, oh, okay. Because I was like, Capcom owns Marvel.
No,
No. They
no,
Well,
it was
didn't
not
always
make
owns, but
Capcom
deals.
versus Marvel,
They
but
didn't
that's
make
like the
deals to
closest
have
thing.
Marvel.
Yeah,
WB's gonna do it now. Oh, okay, that's
There's a
dope.
Never.
rumor.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man, to see. But the problem is, I don't like Mortal Kombat as a fighting game. I
What?
think it's too like clunky.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
like more like the combos that will go smoother together. I just feels like it's too clunky to me. I just don't like the animations. But that's for me. I don't enjoy Mortal Kombat games.
Crazy's judging you.
Yeah.
I like Street
Continue.
Fighter better. I like
Oh, I
Tekken.
hate
Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter. I
sucked.
think Street Fighter is
Oh
whack.
well, no, not Street Fighter as
Okay.
a total. I meant
I
number
think
five
Street
sucked.
Fighter is whack. I can't get into Street Fighter. New Age. I'd rather Street Fighter 2 for the rest of my life than any of the bullshit I play now.
Well, Arcade Street Fighters were good for me, but the number 5 wasn't that good because
But
when
with
it came
Tekken
out,
Tag, man, in arcades, I love that game.
Tekken
Street
I'll
Fighter.
play, but Tekken was just a pass the time game. I never took Tekken seriously. I took Soul Calibur more seriously than Tekken, but
Ew.
I took
Didn't Tekken bring in the whole concept of kicking people off the map and to other places?
I
Was
think
that Soul
Tekken
Calibur?
was in Soul Calibur. No,
no
so
Soul
it's Soul
Calibur
Calibur.
used to hit people off
And
the
then also
map,
Mortal Kombat started
Yeah.
doing it, and Justice started doing that.
and then Dead or Alive
Yes,
made it next
crazy.
level. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, of course, is like
Yeah, that's a
the
dope
holy
man.
grail of
That's
fighting
yeah,
games.
one of my favorite games of all time. If I ever make money, I'm getting that like arcade machine in my house.
Yeah.
Word.
That and Blitz.
It's really short, FYI.
So, how do you guys feel that 2 years after Mario Party is released, Nintendo now makes it online after we asked for the shit from the day it was
They gave
released?
up.
They finally made Mario Party online, 2 years after its release. What do you guys think about that?
They don't have my money, so I don't give a fuck.
Mhm. They got my
Yo, what
fucking
up, Mo
money.
Fire?
Yo,
Yo,
it's
yo,
good,
yo.
Mo.
I can't with
I
y'all.
honestly, I was kind of impressed that they updated the game.
I
I was
know.
like, this is new. This is Nintendo. What the fuck? I was like surprised. I was taken back. I think it's awesome. I would love to buy that game, but I refuse to pay. How much is it? $60?
Yeah, more than likely.
I refuse to pay. I refuse to pay that much money for that game.
Yeah, you gotta have people to play. Me, I have my kids to play with, so I got that shit automatically. But when I saw this news, I was lying in my bed like 7 o'clock in the morning. I get a message from Nintendo like, "Hey, Mario Party is now online." I'm just like, 2 years later, motherfuckers. Like,
Yo,
I don't even
honestly,
play this shit with my kids anymore. Like,
Nintendo could suck it. Like Nintendo is garbage. Like honestly, like I don't understand it. I really don't understand what like. I understand Sony fanboys and I can understand Xbox fanboys, but Nintendo fanboys is like, what do you have? You really gotta like go through the garbage to pick out something that's like amazing, you
not
know?
really. We got Mario, Zelda, and
You
Metroid.
had that for the last like 50 years. What else do you
That's what I'm
have?
saying, and that's what Nintendo fanboys hold on to. They don't.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
We
They,
want
Like,
a new
come
EP, is
on.
what you're saying, right? You want
yeah,
a new
there's
EP.
I
no
want
new
something
IP,
exciting.
no new independent property. Like, it's just
Whatever happened to that thousand heroes or thousand battles or I don't know what it was called, but it's like 101 something on it's supposed to come out for Wii U.
Hero
That
101 or some shit like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's supposed to be like mad different people.
Yeah, I
Whatever happened to
I don't
that?
know what happened with that game, but Nintendo will always like until the old heads are gone. Like I do this about everybody.
X
Like we're
F
in
Zero.
F Zero. Talk
You're
about
not
F
helping.
Zero
You're not
mode.
helping. We want
They
Yeah,
new
it's
stuff.
like
We want new stuff.
no,
it's
there was
hard.
actually an article about F Zero, and the creator said that the reason Nintendo will not make a new F Zero is because they feel like they have nothing new to bring to the series,
Oh.
and they
So they need to
won't
hire
bring
new people, right?
like they won't bring out a new one until they feel they got something new. But Nintendo needs to realize, well, Nintendo knows. So I think this is just their excuse. Because Nintendo knows that if you just remake an old F Zero game, people are gonna buy it. Just like you remake Mario, you remake Star Fox, you remake Metroid Prime, and we still buy it. So why can't you just remake F Zero and make people fucking buy the game? Don't tell us that you're not making a new F Zero because you don't think there's nothing new to it. You're saying that F Zero doesn't have the fan base that Mario, Samus, and Link have. That you're not making another fucking F Zero game. That's what Nintendo's really saying. Because Nintendo is not entwined with the American audience. Nintendo is not entwined with the Japanese audience. All Nintendo cares about is nostalgia. They're making money off of nostalgia. And I don't know, goddamn, you guys should be tired of me saying the same shit over and over and over again. Boycott Nintendo and we will get
But
new and
What you mean
buy
buy
improved
the
mad games? What
games.
are you talking
yeah.
about?
What are you talking about? You tell us boycott. You buy
Boycott.
Pokemon
Yo, he
Snap
wants
too.
us. Yo, Matt King. He wants us to be like No, no, we won't go. And he's like, take my money. Here's my wallet.
Listen,
Here's my
I'm the Black
keys.
Lives Matter supporter that supports Black Lives Matter and buys the mansion in a white neighborhood. Okay, I say
Oh my
boycott
gosh. The two
Nintendo,
of them, those
but
words are not synonymous. I need you to
but
understand that before you say that
boycott
online.
Nintendo. But let me buy the games in the background. But if you
Yeah.
guys don't
Say
buy
that
it,
before you
I'm
say
the
the other
only
thing.
person. They'll lose money. Okay, they'll lose money.
You're silly.
That's all I gotta say about
But
that.
I get you.
That's all your game news?
No, 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 no.
No, no, he's not done.
No,
I'm
no, no,
not
no.
done. So Knockout City, the dodgeball game
I
from
saw that.
EA, is going to be free on Game Pass from day one. For those who
Yep.
don't know, lucky me, because I actually like that game. I played a lot of the demo. I like that game, so I think that's something we got to play. Just letting people know that. Double Fine says Psychonauts 2, which has been long overdue, is finally playable and will be launching this year. Take that with a grain of salt because everybody says their game is launching on a certain year. And in a year of delays and people bitching and moaning about video games every fucking five
That's for
minutes,
investors, though. You know that,
you
right?
know, it just like
It's to
let's
get more time
Psychonauts.
from
To
investors.
me, Psychonauts is whack. I'm not buying this game, but it's going to be free on Game Pass. So
Ray,
I don't care. I'll play it because it's going to
it's
be free
crushing my
on Game
dreams.
Pass. Game Pass. But like to me, I never was entertained by Psychonauts and never. I was entertained by the VR version of Psychonauts. I have the VR version. I beat that game, but Psychonauts 2, Psychonauts 1 on what was it? N60, not N64, PlayStation 2 or 3. It wasn't fun to me. It wasn't entertaining
That's
to
the
me.
thing. Like Psychonauts at its time when the original came out was dope because it was something brand new, interesting. The
Xbox. It was on the Xbox, original
You know what I
Xbox.
want to see
but
remade?
now like we've seen it, you know. And then you did the VR game. You remade the other one. It's
What's
just
it
like
called?
Yeah.
all the hype's done.
Yeah.
I would
Certain
honest.
games need to be remade at a certain time. Like you
I
gotta
would like to
hit
see
that
Parappa the
window.
Rapper.
Yes, like Parappa the Rapper.
That shit's
What
my
Nah,
about
bro.
shit.
Parappa the Rapper?
I
But
would play that.
the thing is that Parappa the Rapper is graphical style doesn't give to a remake. Like
I
that game
know, but
isn't.
I would rather play that
It's
game.
not one of those 3D games. Like they're made out of paper, so what can they really do? All they can
Make
do
them
is
3D.
re-release the
Make
game.
them 3D and just outline them.
Like I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's all they could do is make them 3D characters. But other than
This
that,
is the
Parappa,
problem. Stop buying old games.
I
people
know.
will
I'm
never
not. I'm not
stop.
hoping either. That's Sony. I'm sorry. I'm
People will
sorry. I'm
never
sorry.
stop. Which
He's
brings me
also
to
Nintendo.
a question I had before we got. I forgot to ask this at the beginning of
What?
pod. What makes us like with all the games that come out nowadays? What causes you guys to replay another game? What makes you to ditch your backlog and go back to a game that you beat and say, you know what, I want to play this game again? What is your reasoning for going back? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't play these new games or you buy them, including myself. But before I finish a game that I just bought, I'll go back and play a Mass Effect 2 for the third time before I go and play my new game. So,
Not
what is
me.
it in you guys
Not
that
me.
makes you think
I
that
think
a
it's just you.
game,
That's a
what
you thing.
causes a game to make you replay it rather than play a new game?
I think that's a you thing. That's not. That's not a me thing.
I mean, I understand. Like, my problem is like you like I can only rewatch the same movie so many times before I'm just like
The
it's
story.
I've been there. But Crazy Eight said the story, which the
I would
problem with
probably
video
put
games
Mass Effect.
is outside of like Mass Effect and like choose your own kind of adventure games. You
Yeah.
know the story beats. You know what's gonna
Facts.
happen, and like I've been there and I want to cherish that moment. So for me, I don't want to go back and replay it because I feel like I will lose the value of that moment because I know what's
Hmm.
gonna happen next. I'm gonna know what's gonna happen at the end. Like Gears of War when Dawn died and they put the fucking
Mm.
music. I was
That
fucking almost
shit.
crying. I'm like, yo, this is fucking sad. But I
And
don't think I could
Halo
go
also
back.
when Master Chief didn't make it back.
Yeah, I can't with Master Chief. But
Oh,
I think I relate to Dawn because he was
you
like
guys are
Spanish,
evil.
Hispanic, and I'm like I've never seen a Hispanic character like that in a video game. So when he passed
I respect
away,
that.
and he like sacrificed himself for his like best friend at the moment, that was like fucking deep. I was like, holy shit. But I don't think I would ever go back to
Not
replay
only
that
for his
moment.
best friend, but because he couldn't live without his wife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like he drove but he
Yeah,
saved his friend doing the same
yeah,
action.
yeah.
I
He
remember
saved
that.
him.
I remember that. That was deep.
Um, and
Yeah. Continue.
so I don't think I would replay that moment because it wouldn't be the same. I play Smite. I've been playing Smite for God knows how long, and the reason I keep going back to that is because I think I almost could like turn off a little bit and just like I'll have like 30 minutes. Let me play this game real quick. I know what I'm gonna get out of it. I know I could like do bang this out, walk the dogs afterwards. Like same thing with 2K and like sports games. I think that's a good like spot for me
Mm.
that I know what I'm gonna get from that and I could just
Yeah.
like turn it off afterwards. So those are the games that I go back to a lot. Like I've been playing Smite probably too much,
Yeah, I
but
noticed.
like
I've
I
watched. I've
know
been
I
like,
could like turn. But the thing is
what's
like I know
replay?
I could turn it off, and I know that I don't have to focus too much because I can't really like get into a story anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's
Right.
like me with Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, I should be playing my new games, but here me and Mo are on
Well,
fucking
I mean, those
Yu-Gi-Oh! Every
those
day.
are
We can't
remakes
stop
though. Aren't they?
fighting each other on Yu-Gi-Oh! Like every day we're like addicted to making new decks, and we're just like, yo, let me see what you got today. And just like, but I should be playing like continuing my road to the show on MLB. Like I should be finishing games like yes, my lord, or yes, yes, my lord. It's an indie game that I'm going to talk about on the Drink of the Game when we finally could get that shit going. And like this all this shit I'm playing and trying to finish, but when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that's on my fucking mind is let me get on fucking Yu-Gi-Oh and get more cards and see what new deck I could make to beat Mo's ass. Like that's just like my thought process in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Thank God I got a new job that I can't be doing that in the morning. But still, when I have time to play games now, it's just like, should I continue Yakuza like a dragon or should I go play some Yu Gi Oh? And I always seem to choose Yu Gi Oh
Yeah.
over
I think.
everything else.
Please, before I keep talking, do you what do you think about the question?
I think that pretty much. It depends on the situation. Like you guys, well, not you guys as a total, but like, even between the chat and stuff like that. Like Yu-Gi-Oh's, those are obviously replayability games. When you initially asked the question, I thought you meant games that like were like story driven, that
No, it
you
could be
play.
that too.
No, but like story driven that you played, you beat. Because our initial question was that
Yeah.
you beat and you go back to. And
Yeah.
for me,
Like Mass Effect is that game for me. Mass Effect and Metal Gear. I'll play those shits over and over again.
yeah. So for me, it depends on how long of a time since I first beat it. If I beat it like for instance, Mass Effect for me was like a long time ago. So if I beat Mass Effect a long time ago, then yeah, okay, I'm like, okay, this is beautiful because I'm not gonna remember every single detail. And it was a beautiful game. And it depends on how they remastered it. If it comes out looking like they just ported it, I'm not gonna want to play it. But if it comes out looking like they actually put work into it, then I'll play it. I'll buy it and I'll replay it. But other than that, like I don't really replay a lot of the games because, as Freddie said, I don't want to lose the moments that I had because I did play several games not too long ago again. I was just like, what the fuck is this? This don't look like how it looked when I was a kid. It didn't look the same. The quality was different. The textures were different. The graphics were different in general. The sound sounded like different. It's because it was ported mostly, and I was just like, I think what was that? What was that play? The Crash Bandicoot I think was free. Granted, I got it for free before it became free on PlayStation. I got it for free because of the job I had, and I was gonna play it again. And I was like, it doesn't feel the same. I remember very strongly playing this and I don't know how you guys' memories work, but my memories are tied to like scents, smells, and things that I see around me. So for me, Crash Bandicoot was like a period of my time because as a child, and I was sitting there and it was like certain things were happening in the background, so I remember a certain thing. And then when I went to go play it again as an adult, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" And everything was just different. It didn't feel the same at all. Same thing with Spyro. Who's a Crash Spyro medieval? It didn't feel the same at all. So like, did I even ever beat the Crash when it came out again? No, I probably play it here and there, but right now it's in my queue. I haven't downloaded it. You know, I'm gonna try Ratchet and Clank. I know you hate Ratchet and Clank, but
I don't hate it. It's
um,
just not entertaining to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I like Ratchet and Clank because I had it on the PSP, I had it on the Vita, I I had it. That's my route of games because I like games like that. Like it feels like an indie game even though it's by a big studio. So yeah, to be more specific, I don't replay all games. I only replay certain games. The thing that made me replay the certain games is dependent on the nostalgia behind it and how good it looks when they remake it. And I don't have a backlog of games because, with the exception of the digital ones, because I don't have that many CDs. Because I sold everything to be able to afford the newer ones. So I have maybe the latest I have is like PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones, with the exception of the one GameCube game that I got for free that cost a lot of money, which I refuse to give up. Um, but yeah, I don't go back like to PS1. Like when people be like, "Oh, I want to like play PS1 games from a PS5," I'm like, "My dude, do you know what that's gonna look like? It's gonna like hot
Yeah,
garbage."
I'm not one of those people that's worrying about playing old gen shit or my new
Yeah,
gen shit. Cause
and
then just so do you not have a PS1 or PS2? Go plug in your shit then and play those
no,
fucking games if
no,
that's what you
no, I
want.
don't have that shit.
When a
I don't
next
have that
gen
shit.
console comes out, it's called a next gen console because we're in the
Facts.
next
And we
generation.
broke.
We're
We
not
broke.
worried
I
about the
think
last generation.
I only disagree if it's like the last gen. I think the next gen should play the last gen games.
No,
I
I
don't think
have
like the
that. Like I
Xbox
agree with that.
should play Xbox 360 games. I think the Xbox One should play like I
Okay,
think the PS5 should be able to play PS4 games.
PS4. But
I
did you notice that they're cutting it off in the store? I've been like some of the games that I had for PS4. When I go into the store now, there's locks on it. And I did the thing where I re-downloaded the licensing.
No, is it games like you own they want you to play?
I did own them. They won't let me play them on PS4 5.
gotta be a reason,
There's
but
there's been an update and there's
I'll
locks on it
I'll
and it
say
says you have to play
this:
on PS4.
if you're buying a next gen console to play old games, then you wasted your fucking money.
I
Like
mean, that's tough to say, man.
you
I mean,
know,
it
it
just
ain't
came
tough
out
to
though.
say because why are you buying it if you're worried about old games? Stay on your
Well,
fucking
because the
console.
But it's been
transition,
current though.
the
But
They
some of
just
transition.
them
sell
just came out.
$500. Why are
So
you
Some of them are
spending
not even a
2K,
year old.
$500?
Cyberpunk, the Medium.
What?
I could
Thank
keep
you.
going on. Those
What do you
games are
Thank
mean?
you.
both gens.
They're
No, because
current.
these people don't even buy new games in the first place anyway because it's too much money for them. So it's like,
What are we talking
why
about?
buy the
Wait, I
next
lost
gen
you.
Why are you
just to
stereotyping people?
What is
say
he
just to
talking about?
say that you got? I'm not stereotyping. I'm going off of what
Why are
reality
you
has
yelling?
shown me.
How about
A
that?
lot of people are showing me that they get next gen and they don't even buy next gen games. They just fucking buy next gen just to say that I got it before you.
Well, that's
Like that's
different.
all they
We
buy
don't
it
talk about
for.
that because that's not who I am.
But when it comes to old games, if you have a PS4 and you want a PS5 just to say you can play your PS4 games on it, then just stay on your damn PS4. Why are you wasting the money on the PS5?
Why
Especially PlayStation
Dre,
are you so
was
that
rude,
doesn't
Dre?
make it
barely
Dre,
ha-
like
why are you so
PlayStation
rude?
you
barely
coming.
has any
Dre,
next gen
Dre,
games
you
on
coming up
it.
as toxic right now. Why are
No,
you being rude?
PlayStation barely has any next gen games on it.
I
That's
There's
why you
agree.
should be able to play
barely
Yes,
PS4
any
games.
next
that's why
gen
you should be
games
able to
on it.
play the
Thank
PS4
you.
games.
Thank you.
So all right, you can play your PS4
No,
games
you
on a
can't.
PlayStation
Not all of
5.
them.
Yo,
They
I
put
don't want
Yeah.
like
updates.
7 consoles to my fucking TV. I only have like 3 HDMI
All right, so
cables.
don't buy
So
the
then
next
when we get
gen.
HDMI fucking
Don't
leaks,
buy
like I
it
like.
then.
We mean,
Don't
why
buy
not buy?
it.
If I could afford it,
So you're
like
just
that's
gonna
the
buy
problem.
it.
You're
So that's
coming
what
out of
that goes
this.
to my point. Then you just bought it because
No,
you
my
afford it.
Dre, you're
No,
coming out of this like you own
you're not.
Sony, bro. You
You're
should be
becoming
coming
an
this from a
elitist right
consumer's
now.
point of view.
Okay,
Like,
I am
Yes.
if
coming from
somebody
a
makes a
consumer's
No.
point of
product,
view. I bought a next
so
gen
if let's say you
system
bought a 4K
because
TV,
I
you should
want to
only be able to
buy
watch 4K content
I
on it.
want to play
No, it's more than
new
that.
games,
No,
right?
it
It's more
doesn't
than
I
work
that.
didn't
like that,
buy a
Dre.
next gen system to say I'm sitting here to play old ass games, which
But
is
I don't
why
even know
I
where you.
play
So
my
what's the point of
Xbox
ever
more
I
than I
don't even
play
buying?
know
my
where you came from with
PlayStation.
that. I
My
don't know where you came
Xbox is
from.
played more than my PlayStation because it has more new games to play on it than
They
my
don't. They
PlayStation
don't.
does.
Actually, they
They
don't. The
do. What do
Xbox.
you
No,
mean?
no, no. The
Name
Xbox
10 games
allows you to play
PlayStation
more of
has
the
that's
Xbox
exclusive to
One
PS5.
games. My
Name
dude, my
10
dude.
PS5 exclusive games right now. And I
Name
can
10
name 10
Xbox Series
Xbox
X
games.
exclusive games right now.
I could name 10 games that are brand new that came to Xbox that PS5 is not brand new to.
What games?
You don't know? You name your PlayStation games and I'll name
No,
my 10
no, no, no,
Xbox
no. We're
games.
not using
I
because
brought
you
it to
can't.
you
You can't.
first. I
No,
brought it
no,
to
you
you
can't.
first.
You
Name
can't.
10 PS5 games.
My
Name
point is
straight
they're in
up
the same
10
boat. My dude, my
10
dude,
PlayStation
my
5
dude.
has no,
Anyway,
it doesn't even have
Freddie, the
double
same one
digit
right now.
PS5
Freddie,
games right now. Because
Just
I didn't
cutting him
spend on it,
out
because I
right
would
now.
have
Just
bought
cutting you
all
out.
10 of them. And you know this. I
Dre,
would have bought all 10 of those
I
games.
agree that like,
I'm
but
done
my
with it
thing
right
is like from a
now.
consumer's point of view is like you're ignoring the fact that we spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on a product, and then for a new system to
Nothing
come
to be
out
there.
and that money just becomes obsolete. I think that's ridiculous. I think if I am loyal to like a brand, that they should give a shit enough to let me continue that
Which
to the
is what
next
Xbox
generations.
cares
At
about.
least for the first
No,
year and a
and
half, or
yeah,
until they have
I'm
like 100
no. What I'm
games.
saying is like I think the transitioning year, I want to be able to play more. I'm
Yeah,
not saying like
it's
5 years
fair.
into PS5,
No,
I should. But I'm like that first year, the
I
first two
got you.
years, I should be
Ready?
able to still play my PS4 games because that
Yeah.
transitioning year is fucking
Don't put
important.
don't put
All right,
updates
there's
out that
that.
makes my shit
There's
get
being able to
locked.
play your PS4 games, and then there's these people that bitch on every
This is like a
generation
Oh
hypothetical.
yeah, I
that
This
think
is
they
it's
like a
can't
ridiculous on
play
that.
their
hypothetical.
old games. So every
Yeah,
like when
I hear you.
PS4 came out, they bitched about not being able
About
to
the
play their
PS3,
PS2 and
They were
PS3
yeah,
games. When PS3 came out, they bitched about not being able to play their PS2 games. So what do you want? Why do you want a next gen if you're always worried about the old gen? Which means you're not buying the games when they come out. So if you know you can't buy these games when they come out, then wait and keep your last gen and buy all the old games when they're in discount bin and play the games now that you can finally afford them, and you can't play them on the next gen. Don't buy a next gen system if you want to keep playing old games. That's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I think that
Like,
if you're that hardcore about playing your PS1 games, you should probably just keep them. You should just probably play them on your
Have a
PS1.
PS1.
Yeah,
you
I think
know,
if you're like that hardcore, like yo, I need to play this game once a year. Buy your PS1, buy that game, and bring it out once in a
exactly.
while. Because you
Like,
want that experience. Because the same like Felice, you was talking about that, like you can't
Hey,
what's good?
that you
Happy
don't.
Chaos, my boy Mitch.
I
that's
so
my
happy
man's.
chaos gaming for the people on podcasts. I like that. Why care about new gens when you want to play old gens? I think that like it's.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think the
PC.
option
Yep, PC will give you the way to play all the fucking games. Like, stick to PC.
Happy Chaos said, in that case, stick with Xbox and PC. They allow you to play both. Yeah, that's now, but that wasn't always the case. And that's the thing about the PS1 games. I mean, even now you could go backwards, but at the time you couldn't do that. But I'm like, if you're that fanatic about playing OG games, you should probably have those OG games on the OG
Exactly. Have
systems.
those systems sitting around. Like, just unplug your PlayStation, plug your PS1 in if you want to play some old PS1 game then. Or get PlayStation Now. What you don't want, you want the old games, but you don't want to spend $10 a month on the service to play the old games, right? So how
Come on,
badly do
man,
you
just right
really
now.
want the old games? You know, like it's like it's a lose-lose situation for some people, because like I talked to some friends that talk to me about, in all honesty, I'm being real now. Like, if I have friends that got a PS5, but yet they're talking about playing old games. Like, so are you gonna play Returnal? Are you gonna play Astrobots and all this other new? Nah, I want to play my older games. Like, why didn't I let us play my older game? Like, so what did you buy the PS5 for? Then stay on your fucking PS4. You know, like, stop wasting your money because of the hype. People buy these systems because of the hype, but they can't afford to keep up with these systems. It's like me buying a house just because I got the money to buy a house, but I know I can't afford to pay the mortgage. So why the fuck did I buy the house if I can't pay the mortgage? You know, like, it makes no fucking sense to me. If you can't afford what's on the system, don't buy the system. If you can't afford to maintain a house, don't buy a fucking house.
I get that, but you're speaking off of a very. I mean, it's not granted. I respect your point of view, but you're also ranting on a very elitist point of view. Something
Nah,
who's
it's
been
not
able
being
to.
elitist. It's being
It is,
real. Because
yeah,
people spend more
but
than
when
they
you
could
say it that
afford.
way, but
Don't
that's
buy
life.
more
That's
than you
life.
could
That's life. But
afford.
when you say it in such a manner like that, that's not how people live their life. Most people live their lives beyond their means because we're all fucking poor unless we're in the 1% realistically or somewhere
Uh
right
huh.
below that. So by saying like don't buy this, if that, that's not realistic. That's not what the world we live in, and that's
I
not
The
how we
mean,
funny
live.
thing is, like,
go no,
we'll
wait,
go
wait,
out
wait. Let
there and we'll
Felice.
sacrifice food, and we'll say, "Oh, I got to eat
I'll
ramen
fucking eat
noodles
ramen for
for
a
a week,"
month if I can buy my new
right?
game,
You
and I
know,
did
like,
that.
we'll sacrifice food and say, "I can't eat ramen noodles to pay my rent." right? And we'll sacrifice that, but we're gonna buy a PS5, although I can't play the video games. That makes no damn sense
Because
to me.
like that's I
It's an
mean
investment
like
in
the
your
problem
happiness.
with your conversation, like what you're having, is that like it's a bigger thing than just gaming. it's
Yes.
it's an escape.
Yes.
Like people use gaming to escape. If their life is so fucked up, well, that's a choice. A lot of people, and I don't recommend it, but a lot of people want to escape from that, and that's what
Yeah.
video games
The
do.
world is
In
fucking
some
crazy.
sense, media are, and even on the dark side, drugs and
But you
alcohol.
don't need to buy
So
a next
no,
gen
but my
system to
point,
escape.
my point is, Dre,
Jay,
is that
you
these people
escape
are
from the
not
system.
educated and not in a system where these motherfuckers care about them. So if some person has a position where they could just escape and buy a PS5 and just forget about the fucking problems and still complain about not being able to afford things, the choosing the wrong
That's the
path.
mental
But you have to
health. Yeah.
understand that point is that like
That's the mental
they're
health
using that
issue
way
right
to
there.
escape from something.
That's definitely
And like that's what I'm saying. Like I know we're just talking shit, but like when people like buy something they can't afford, they're trying to escape from a
make
bigger
themselves feel
deal.
better.
Yeah. So like if that person feels good by having a
But
PS5,
don't
let
bitch
them
to
have the
us
fucking PS.
because of your
Dre, this is
decision
what you
then.
do. You put them
Or
on mute.
don't
You're
go
like,
on the
okay,
This is why I said
bye.
we
and talk about, oh my God, why are you doing this to me? And if you made that decision to fuck yourself over,
No, that's not how shit happens.
he's
Nobody
just telling me right
decides to
now.
like have a fucked up
that
life. Nobody's
they
like, I'm
choose
gonna wake
that,
up and be a
don't go
fucking drug
on the
addict.
internet
Like
and
it
bitch to the
happens. It's a
world
fucking.
about you can't afford this
He's a
game
symptom of
because you
society.
chose to get a
It's.
next gen system that you couldn't afford to maintain.
I agree what you're saying, but like you're
I
seeing it
agree,
from like
but that's
a
not
really
realistic.
black and white scenario, and life is
Yeah.
not black and white.
Facts.
No, it's one thing. All right, if you shut the fuck up all day and didn't say nothing about your decisions in life, I ain't got nothing to say about it, right? But if you're gonna go throw in my face that, oh my God, I spent $500 on this system, but they're not giving me everything I want, then that's you fucked up then because you didn't understand what was gonna
But why do
happen
you
when you got my
care?
system. Why do they care?
They care because
They're
it's
just
money.
talking
But
shit.
no,
No,
he
but
is. He
why
is.
did
He's
you buy
some
the
shit at this point.
system then?
But
I'm not gonna
Because
realistically,
they wanted a
no,
that
PS5.
they
wasted their
assume
money.
they
Don't buy
wasn't.
something you
No,
can't
no,
afford to
no.
maintain.
They
Why get
assume
a
that.
dog if you can't maintain the dog? Why
Oh my
adopt a
gosh.
kid if you can't take care of a kid?
Drake, video
Why
games
buy a
and that
house
is not
if
even
you
the
can't watch
same
the house? So
lever.
why buy a fucking game system if you can't afford the games? Plain and simple. Like, don't
But
get
is he in the
things
game
that you
news?
can't afford, and plain and simple, your life's gonna be easier. Don't live beyond your means. That's the plain simple conversation I'm saying. Don't live beyond your means.
I
Plain
agree
plain
with
and
what you're
simple.
I agree
saying,
with you as well.
but
Like,
like I
But the
think you're
rant is
just
like a
really
lot.
not
It's
understanding
not
how
that.
life
It's not
works
realistic.
sometimes.
like, no, but it is because I see many people go online talk about I'm selling my PS5 because I can't pay the rent.
I
So
ain't
why
sell it
did you
to
buy
me.
the
Where they at?
PS5 in
I'll
How
the
did
take
we
the
first
get
place?
discount
here?
PS5.
The
You
initial
know,
conversation had nothing to do with this. The initial conversation had nothing to do with that at all.
What was the question?
At this point, I don't even
I
know.
don't
So
even remember the goddamn
I
question.
know you just
All
went
I
on a rant
remember
that had nothing
is
to do with what
that
I was talking about.
people, if you're gonna buy something, make sure you could get what you want out
It
of
was
it
about
before
the
you
fact
bitch
that
to the
you can't
internet
play
about
the
not being able
previous
to get what
gen
you got out of it.
PS4, for instance, on PS5. There's an update, as I said, had nothing to do with what he's saying. As I said, there was an update, and now some of the games that were not locked are now locked digitally. That I do own on my PlayStation 4, and I should be allowed to play them because they were not locked before, but now they're locked now. And he said, "Well, if you want to play PS4 games, play on the PS4." And I was like, "My dude, we just got this shit. There ain't no games out."
Yeah.
So what
I
he
well,
said, he
I'm
wants
gonna
next
I
say
gen.
is that
digress.
I'm over
like
I
it.
digress. I'm sorry for those of you that bought
He
a
went to a different
PS5
planet. I was just
and want
like,
it for
damn,
PS4 games. I
spill a tea that
apologize.
no one spilled.
I think that like I get what you're saying. All right, so Happy Chaos Gaming said, I mean, people's personal financial situation should never bother you. To be honest, why have a PS5 when there's not enough games for it?
Thank you.
Well,
That's what I was
wait,
saying.
Happy Chaos. I
Wait,
want to
did I say
say
it right?
that I bought a PS5 with the promise of these games. You know,
Yes,
when they
that's what I meant.
announced the PS5, they said Ratchet and Clank, they said all these dope games, and I bought it with the promise of Cyberpunk being on PS5 and having that experience. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have
would've
bought a
bought that shit.
PS5.
Same
I
thing.
wouldn't have bought an Xbox. But the thing is like we didn't know the pandemic was gonna be a year longer. I mean, a year and plus, a year and a
Because
half
the
now.
government told us
So like
differently.
when the PS5 was announced, yeah. But like that's so vague. You can say that with
No,
literally anything
promises
in your
shouldn't be
life.
broken though. That's easy to say.
It's so
Promises
easy
are
to
always
be like so
broken in
cynical when it
the
comes to life, and like you could go around literally saying promises can be broken in relationships, jobs, love,
You
like
can't just assume
dogs.
that it's gonna be
My
broken
dog
just
promised he was gonna pee in the house. I'll come home, he pees in the house.
Well, your dog
It's
can't
just
promise
like,
you that.
yeah,
I
motherfucker. I
mean,
talked to this
trade
motherfucker. I'm like, yo, look at me, look at me. No, but my thing is like that's the whole beauty of video games is that like, you could like take that moment and want something better, And I think that's why media and gaming is such a great thing. Is that like it lets us escape. It lets us maybe life isn't that bad, and it makes me want to believe in something bigger, So that's why I'm a sucker for the hype. I'm a sucker
Well,
for
but we
like
could do that on
good
any
games.
generation of gaming consoles. We could do that on any
Nah,
generation.
I feel you. I feel you. But I'm just saying,
yeah.
like, I think, yeah, I mean, you learn your lessons. But honestly, I'll probably still buy my
I
PS5,
just
and I
think
still probably
that
buy
we're
my
too
Xbox.
needy nowadays. Like we're way too. Cause back in the days when like N64 was out, we were like, "Don't put get Super Mario 3 on my N64, or else I'm not buying this." Or when PlayStation 2 came out, get Crash Bandicoot 1 on my PS2. I'm no longer playing this. Like we didn't do none of that shit back then. It's only because we've grown too accustomed to being spoiled is why people are bitching and moaning now. And I'm just
I don't
saying,
think
like,
it's
if you
called
want to
spoiled.
spoil yourself,
I think it's
spoil
really
yourself.
expectations.
Xbox doing what they got to do. Everything is there. PC is getting everything nowadays. Get a PC if you really want all these games that bad. Game Pass is the way to go right now, people. Whether you hate Microsoft or not, they're doing way better than Sony right now, and Sony has nothing that's going to combat Game Pass right now.
I like
Straight.
Yeah,
Sony, FYI. I'm
I
not.
know
I'm
you
I
not
like
like
a.
Sony
Sony,
too.
but it has
Everybody likes
nothing
Sony.
I
that's
know
going
we're
to
different.
combat
I'm just
Game
letting the people
Pass.
know because we right now the hate towards Sony is like
It's not
intense.
hate.
It's
It's
not
more just
hate
like
towards Sony.
It is when
disappointment.
you
It's
are
in
so
the context of
vehemently
backwards compatibility. Sony ain't there.
not.
I mean, they're working. Wait,
Clearly,
let's get back on track, Drake. You have any game news?
please.
Not well. Okay, you guys give your game news because I'm too
I don't
irritated.
have game news because
No,
I'm
no,
just looking at the time. I just want to make sure it's not 3 hours.
no, yeah. The last day, what was it I had on here? I was thinking, oh no, it was just about, what was it? Shit, no, that was it.
That's
That's
everything.
all I had.
Holy
That's all I
shit!
had. Yep, that's
All
all I
right,
fucking had.
Felice, what do you got?
I did most of my stuff already,
Oh,
but
I don't have anything. So I guess we go back to ranting.
no,
Um,
no, no.
what do you? You said Felice. You said you had nothing.
That's not what I said. I said I finished
Oh,
most of my things,
oh,
but the
okay. I
last
can't
thing
hear
I
you. You're
had to
low.
say, the last thing I had to say was about Activision slash Blizzard CEO and his 50% pay cut, which looks like it's a lot because he went from making 1.75 per year to like 825. But with his bonus is like 200%, which makes him actually gross like 3.25 billion. And then he's also getting his other bonus because it's past the contract because they're keeping him on until March 2023. So the whole point about that is wait, what is that? Oh, the whole point about that is the fact that there were some arguments that saying that he's the highest grossing like person like in that kind of field in general. He makes so much money and they're like side eyeing him because it's like they're like, okay, well, in like 2019 you like cut like 800 jobs or something like that, and then like 2016 you cut no sorry I got backwards. 2016 you cut like certain amount of jobs, and then in 2019 you cut like way more than that. So it's like, okay, well, you're getting all this money, and it's because he's obviously meeting his metrics in reference to like the board is like, oh, meet these monetary metrics, and he's passing his goals, but he's like just making fucking bank, like. So 1.75 is his actual salary beforehand, and now it's only 825,000. But he also has a 200% bonus in his contract. So even with the bonus, he's still making 3 point something $1 million a year. And it's like it's crazy because it's like, okay, well, you cut all these jobs, and yeah, you're making money, but you also cut these jobs. You cut the jobs to keep making the money, and then the contract is dated for after his initial bonus, so he's still gonna get the 200% based off of the initial three point something $1 million. So he's gonna get two bonuses.
So what's the problem?
What do you mean? What the problem is? That's
Let
the
him have his
problem.
money. What's the problem?
He's making people. He's cutting jobs. This is the most they cut under him, so he can have his money.
That's his job to cut
No, that's
people.
not his job. That's not his job.
They do this all the time in
Yeah,
the
so I'm saying this
gaming
isn't the
industry, though.
news. This happens
So you're not
every
you're okay with
day.
people losing their income, but you're
I lost
not.
my income, and nobody's reading an article about that.
All right.
Like the
Well,
fuck, like
that
nobody
was
gives a shit about
it's
me.
gaming
It's not
news.
cool that it's
It's gaming.
happening,
It's
you know,
gaming
but
news.
it's
It
like
is.
I'm
It's
done.
not
I
cool,
guess we're
but
done.
this is life. People
it's
lose their jobs. People get cut. People like it
these
happens.
rich people on top
Which
always
keeps getting
gonna
richer,
be
poor keeps getting
on top.
poorer.
You
Like
know, like that's man. At this point in time where we live, it's just like this is fucking life now,
it's
man.
a
It's just like
Tuesday.
it
Like
sucks. Yeah, like it
Thursday.
sucks.
Today's Thursday.
But in the gaming world, like this seems to happen every week. I feel like we get a story like this in which people are
yeah,
fucking that's getting cut and people on top are just making these huge ass bonuses. I feel this happens every week. We're gonna get a story. I
It
feel
doesn't
like
make it
next week
okay.
it's not okay. But I feel like in the gaming world, until the people start fighting back, it's just gonna keep fucking happening. You know, it's gonna keep
yeah,
fucking happening until the game, like a lot of people like in the game industry, a lot of these developers are independent contractors. So it's just like these guys just like, well, they're independent contractors, so we can let them go at any time, and if we need money, just fire this amount of them, and boom, there goes our fucking bonus. We're back in the green,
yeah.
from being in the red. So there needs to be a union or something like that in the gaming industry, which I think they tried to do, but they voted against. I don't know why more people voted
People
against
got
it than
pressured and stuff.
yeah. So like they voted against having a union in the gaming industry for whatever reasons, but they got to find some way to band together, like, or else like the rich are just gonna keep getting richer, man. It's like, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's fucking life, man. They fucking just it's just what seems to happen. Cause we heard this story. I feel like we hear this story every two podcasts we make. We
Yeah,
have
the
one of
last
these
one was
stories.
Stadia closing the studios. And they got cut. All those people got cut. I think it just happens. I think studios are always closing and people are always losing their jobs. And
I
the,
just
the
feel like
CEOs keep making more money. So
I feel like we usually
like
when
we
we
said,
talk
like
about things, we have a
we
more emotional attachment to that than to people losing their jobs.
We should until it becomes a
I'm
norm.
sorry, Freddie. I'm sorry, Freddie. Go ahead.
No,
I just
no,
want to
no.
let
no,
you
I'm
I,
just
know.
saying,
I
like
didn't say
you
anything.
make you're right.
You
We
were
should
talking
have
and I
more
cut
of
you
an
off. I'm
emotional
sorry.
attachment to it. It shouldn't be this way, and that shows how fucked up the world is right now. In which, to me and Freddie, this is just normal. It's
Yeah, I
like it
mean,
shouldn't
legit,
be
like
this
kids
way.
are getting shot by the police and they're on camera and nobody gives a shit. Like people losing their jobs. Like this is just we're living in a place right now where this is just normal and it's sad. But like I think what can we do? We're doing a podcast. We're bringing light to it. I mean, there's nothing else we could really do about it.
We can only hope that we are the light at the end of the dark tunnel. You know, so we
Very
can
true.
hope.
But that's all I got.
You know. But well, with that said, guys, thanks for since I know we were ending it on a dark tune, but we thank all of you that joined anyway, and thanks all of you that are listening and stuff. Once again, like if you want to support us, the best way you can support us is by hitting up our link tree or whatever you see in the damn comments and support us on our Patreon. We got a lot of shit on our Patreon. We would love for you guys to join. get into our damn raffles, end of the month raffles, and all the extra shit we have going on. And like join our Facebook group if you're not a part of it already. Join our we got two Facebook groups at that. Join our Gamerish network Instagram page. But if you guys could go and like just support us in any way, we would completely appreciate it, and we appreciate all your support that you guys are giving now. We hope you guys tune in next week. But until then, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your games. Peace out.
Peace out.